Hey everybody, and welcome back to Semi Stories. Today we got some crazy stories from r/NuclearRevenge, starting with OP, who gets revenge on her husband after he has been having gay affairs for 10 years. I, 44 female, have been married to my husband, 44 male, for 20 years now. We have 2 kids, 16 female and 13 male, and my husband is what I would consider a high earner by middle class standards. Also, strap in folks, this is going to be long. I've never told anyone, so. 10 years ago, and by complete coincidence, I found out that my husband has been cheating on me. With men. And that from before we got married. We live in a smallish town in the south of the USA, and him coming out as gay will have consequences. I believe that is the reason he has not come out to anyone. First, here's how I found out that he was cheating on me. He got sloppy. He left a credit card bill, for a secret card, in the pocket of a coat. While going through it, I found all the telltale signs of infidelity. Payments to a hotel in a nearby county, restaurant bills, gifts, flowers, condoms and lubricant, etc. I started camping outside the hotel on days he told me he would be late, and I saw him bringing different men there. I am very good at compartmentalization and have a great poker face. Comes with growing up in an abusive household. So I was able to give myself some time to cool off and come up with what I should do. First thing I did was get an STD panel, since I didn't know how safe he was being with his partners. It came out negative. Then I convinced him that we should use condoms, since I was having side effects from the pill. He was okay with it. I had a long think and came up to the decision that I was not going to confront him, nor was I going to leave him. He was able to provide me a really good lifestyle, one that I would never be able to afford with my high school diploma. A cleaning lady, a nanny to help with the kids, regular spa days and a country club, a new car every year, luxury family vacations every year. He was a good dad and a good partner, aside from the cheating, and really good in bed. But I was not going to let him have a single guilt-free week in his life. That would be my revenge. I started small, planning great date nights for us, telling him that I felt our relationship has cooled, that I wanted the spark back. Then I would sometimes slip into conversation some tea about a cheating husband, a gay man that has been using his poor wife as a beard, complimenting the only gay couple we know for having the courage of being real men, who are out and proud of themselves. On the other hand, I would praise him as the perfect husband to anyone and everyone, especially if he was in earshot. The amount of guilt gifts I got was astounding. The man was even sending me flowers weekly. It continued the same way for years. I could literally see how much it was weighing on him. Me? Well, my parents were part of a commune with the concept of free love, and I was the same. I just considered myself in an open marriage. It seems that cheating is easier to ignore if you're not that big on monogamy in the first place. And my husband was keeping me satisfied, so I felt no need to find a partner of my own. Then, 4 years ago, I guess he met the love of his life. He started seeing just the one guy. I was seriously thinking of ending the whole thing, especially since I have started a business by then and was able to bring in enough money to support myself and my kids, while maintaining my lifestyle. But then he went and introduced his side piece to us. He effing brought him to our house, introduced him to our kids, and that was enough for me to keep tormenting him. Apparently he was a new friend he made while golfing. He started hinting at moving to another state, one where it would be easier for him to come out. I refused. I told him that my business was here, and I would not going to start over in another state. Also, the kids had their friends and extended family here, so it would be unfair to uproot them. Then he started trying to start arguments. I guess he wanted us to fight, then asked me for a divorce. I stopped all those arguments in their tracks. I would just agree with whatever he said. He was right, I was wrong. And to make it up to him, how about a nice dinner and some great sex? He hated that. I knew from spying on his phone that having sex with me felt like cheating on his boyfriend. The audacity of this man. I also knew that his boyfriend was pressuring him to leave me almost every day. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He started drinking, and when it got too heavy, that was when I decided that enough was enough. I wanted to ruin his life, not his health. Also, I grew up with an alcoholic father and I did not want that for my kids. So I gathered all the evidence about his infidelity over the last 9 years. Photos with different men, conversations, his Grindr profile, even though he no longer had one, everything. Then I hired a divorce attorney and mailed the evidence to his employer. He has a morality clause in his contract and adultery breaks it. All his relatives, including parents, as well as our church. His, actually. I was never really big on religion like him. It was like a bomb exploded. He was fired. The congregation turned on him for cheating, not for being gay. Let's keep that straight. I would never allow the kids to be part of a church that discriminated against their father, even if he was not out. His parents wouldn't take him in after I kicked him out, and he was publicly shamed. Gotta love that small town gossip mill. And the cherry on top, his boyfriend was run out of town, and he couldn't follow him because he wanted to fight for custody of our kids. Now, almost a year later, I'm a free woman. I got to keep the house, my car, and my business. He got 75% of the retirement and investment accounts, but he won't be paying alimony. I got full custody and he got visitations. I also got child support. He had to move 6 hours away to find a new job, and couldn't put the last job he worked at his whole life as a reference. His relationship with his family is rocky. His reputation in town is ruined, so he can't move back anytime soon. The love of his life left him for good, and my kids only tolerate him because I did my best to shield them, and to tell them that he is still a good father to them. I also made sure to treat him politely, never talked bad about him, and had a lengthy talk about how their father was being gay and it is okay. It's who he is, and that is not his fault. The only wrong thing he did was hiding it from me. So I guess the result of his cheating was years of guilt followed by a ruined life. OP then posted the following edit. Let's make something clear. I am not the good person in this story. We're both bad. I'm not here trying to get pats on the back or to be told that I did well. I know that what I did was messed up, and I'm here because I wanted to tell someone, and I can't do that in real life. Absolutely deserved, and not much more I can say about it. This is a prime example of nuclear revenge. Blow up someone's life in a horrible, kind of messed up way, and neither party is right for what they've done, but at least OP had cause to do so. If you guys enjoyed the video so far, be sure to like and subscribe to support the channel so we can keep making quality content. In this next story, OP gets cheated on by his girlfriend and decides to get revenge in the best way possible. To clear up any confusion that might come up, you have to know that I'm a bisexual man. I love sharing this story because I'm still proud of it. A few years ago, my ex-girlfriend cheated on me with another guy. She then had the audacity to tell me that if I was a grown-up, that I could deal with it and that she hopes we can still be friends. But she lost any feelings for me and is fully in love with this new guy now. If she hadn't said that, I probably wouldn't have made this plan. But now I had to teach her a valuable lesson. I was in a depressed state for a long time and couldn't bring myself to delete her number, and she thought I was her friend now. She started to send me pictures of her and her new boyfriend with laughing emojis. She didn't even care about how much she had hurt me. And then one day, while I went through Tinder, I found someone who was quite familiar. Her new boyfriend. Of course, I wouldn't tell her that her new boyfriend is on Tinder. In fact, I matched with him, which was quite surprising because I thought he was straight, and we started a conversation. He didn't know who I was. She never told him she was in a relationship while she was flirting with him, but this was perfect. We had longer conversations, and he told me more and more about him. Over the weeks we learned more and more about each other, and now I had a plan. I suggested that we could meet each other at a bar, and he agreed. Keep in mind he was still in a relationship with my ex-girlfriend at that time. When we met, we had a great time, and one date became many dates. It took me a few months, but then I got to the point where he developed feelings for me and I was his affair. What he didn't know is that I got in contact with my girlfriend's former ex-boyfriend as well. He broke up with her because he came out as gay. I was in contact with both guys. The ex-boyfriend and I got along very well. In fact, I made him a close friend of mine. In our conversations with my new boyfriend, we talked about our sexual desires, and he told me that he's always wanted to have a threesome, so I suggested one with the gay ex-boyfriend. I knew that he was his type because we kinda look alike, and he had feelings for me, so I asked the gay ex-boyfriend if he wanted to become the third one, and to my surprise, he said yes. I'm honestly still surprised how all of that worked out without her noticing, but it did, and then the day came where I decided to go nuclear. The two guys came to my apartment. I led them to the bedroom, and they started talking to each other. While they talked, I took a selfie from a safe distance, close enough that she could see their faces, but far enough that they wouldn't notice. Then the action started. Of course, I won't go into any detail, but damn, I enjoyed it more than anything in the world. A few days after this, I told him that now I granted him the wish of a threesome, I wanted something in return. I told him that I don't want to be in an affair any longer, and told him that he should either break up with her or I will break up with him. I knew it was hardcore manipulative, but I had a plan and I had full control over him. He actually broke up with her and threw her out. I even got him to move out of his apartment to move in with me, meaning that she lost both her home and her boyfriend. But I wasn't done yet. Because after that she texted me with crying emojis that her boyfriend dumped her and that she regrets leaving me. I then said, "Your boyfriend? You talking about this guy?" I sent her the selfie I took. She called and texted me several times, but I ignored her. My plan was almost successful. There were only 3 things left that I still had to do. The first was that I told her mother, who hates infidelity more than anything because her father cheated on her mother with another woman. You could say like father, like daughter. Her mother was angry, but thanked me for telling her. From what I've heard is that her mother cut ties with her, but I admit I don't know if that actually happened. And I don't think that it happened, but it would be funny if it was true. The second thing I did was dumping him, because unfortunately for him, he was a cheater too, and I hate infidelity as well. The last thing I did was going out with the gay ex-boyfriend, and after a few dates we got together and are still a couple to this day. In the end, I destroyed both her and the guy she cheated on me with, and I couldn't be more proud of myself. Have you guys ever gotten good revenge on a cheating boyfriend or girlfriend? Let me know down in the comments and I will be back in the next one. See ya!